Carl Duker's Swagger is one of our sports books on the Iowa Teen Award list this year. It will also be one of our battle books. And if you can't locate a print copy, there are electronic copies in Mac and Via. Our main character is a high school basketball player named Jonas. He's a point guard, and basketball is all he seemed to think he needed in the world. All this started about a year ago. Back then, I was a junior at Redwood High in Redwood City, a suburb 25 miles south of San Francisco. In those days, before Hartwell, before Levi, I took things as they came, without thinking a whole lot about them. Maybe that's because most of the things that came my way were good. Jonas's father ends up having to leave his job in Redwood City, and because of that, they have to move. So they travel north and end up in Seattle. And Jonas starts at a new high school, a smaller high school. He continues to play basketball, and at his new school, one of the first things he learns is that you can't just slide by and continue to play ball. Being a student hasn't always been a high priority for Jonas. At his old school, he used to do enough to just slide by. But at his new school, they do expect you to do your work and to do it well. And if you don't, you don't play. At his new school, he meets Levi. Levi is a player on the team. He is the center. He's quite tall. And Jonas notices a couple of things about him. First off, he's quite religious. And another thing he notices is that he is very quiet, almost too quiet. And Jonas also comes to realize that when Levi is on the court, he plays better. When he first arrives at his new school in Seattle, he's coached by Coach Knecht, or Connect, not sure how to say that. And Coach Knecht's style of basketball isn't good for Jonas. Jonas likes to play a real fast-paced tempo type of game. However, Coach Knecht, who's a much older coach, is more of a old school traditional type of coach, and he likes a much slower game. And this doesn't work very well for Jonas, who begins to struggle with this style of basketball. But when Coach Knecht gets sick and the younger assistant coach, Hartwell, takes over the team, things change for Jonas. Coach Hartwell likes an up-tempo game, and this starts to improve Jonas's play on the team as well when Coach Hartwell takes over. Things are looking good for Jonas. However, it's when a couple of things come up, such as serving alcohol to players at his home, that Jonas starts to become concerned about Coach Hartwell. Another red flag that comes up for him is when Jonas doesn't do well on a chemistry test, and it's Coach Hartwell who helps him pass or cheat on the makeup test. Jonas starts to question perhaps he should say something to somebody about some of the things that Coach Hartwell is doing. But he also worries about not playing so well if another coach takes over, possibly jeopardizing his chances of getting a scholarship. However, when he finds out something about Levi, that's when Jonas decides that it's probably time that he say something about his coach. If you read Swagger and you enjoy it, we have many other books by Carl Duker in the library. Carl Duker writes pretty much just sports books, but all types of sports: running, baseball, basketball,